The third way you can represent the equation of a line is in standard form, and that's defined as ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all integers, so when it's all said and done, a, b, and c are going to be actually numbers, and x and y are just going to stay as x and y, and a is non-negative. So, quickly, before we move on, let's talk about integers real quick. Those are just numbers, whole numbers, no decimals, no fractions, that could be either positive or negative. Pretty much any number that you would see on a number line. So, let's practice putting an equation in standard form. But first, let's look at the rules or the steps to do that. First step of putting an equation in standard form is to get it into slope-intercept form. And hopefully we know how to do that by now. If you don't, click back and watch the slope-intercept form video. Then we're going to subtract mx from both sides of the equation. So if we had y equals 3x plus 7, and we subtract 3x from both sides, we now have negative 3x plus y equals 7. So we're almost there, but the leading coefficient is negative. So if the number in front of x is negative, we're going to multiply everything by negative 1. Everything, every term. Finally, if there are any fractions, then we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the least common multiple of the denominators of those fractions. So let's do one together. In this example, we're going to write the equation of the line that passes through 2, 6 and 4, negative 3 in standard form. Well, I already went ahead and did it to save some time in slope-intercept form, and it comes out to y equals negative 9 over 2 x plus 15. Now, if you wouldn't know how to put this line in slope-intercept form, I suggest you go back and watch that video. But to put in standard form, the next step would be to add 9/2 x on both sides. And we would get 9 over 2x plus y equals 15. So this is pretty close to being in standard form, except we have one of our coefficients is a fraction. To get rid of it, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by the least common multiple of the denominators of those fractions. So there's only one fraction, it has a denominator of 2, so the least common multiple of just 2 would be 2. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So when we distribute that 2, it becomes 9x plus 2y equals 30. And that's how we write the equation in standard form. Now, on this next slide, I would like you to try one on your own, pause the video as you do it, and then hit play when you want to see how you did. Alright, well, if you did everything correctly and kept your numbers as fractions, not as decimals, then in slope-intercept form, you should have gotten y equals 3 over 2x minus 19 over 2. So, that's the first step, get it in slope-intercept form. Now, to help us get in standard form, we're going to move the x term to the other side by subtracting 3/2 x on both sides. So now we have 3 over 2x plus y equals negative 19 over 2. So our leading coefficient is negative. To get rid of that, we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1. So now, anything that's negative becomes positive, and vice versa, anything that's positive becomes negative. So now we have positive 3/2 x minus y equals positive 19 over 2. Notice how a and c, 3/2 and 19 over 2, are both fractions. So we need to look at the denominators of those fractions, 2 and 2, find the least common multiple of 2 and 2, which would just be 2, and multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So when we multiply the left side of the equation by 2, we get 3x minus 2y, and the right side becomes just 19, because 19 over 2 times 2 is just 19. And here would be our final answer, 3x minus 2y equals 19. Hope that was helpful, and have a good one.